The image you're seeing is titled Losing the Race, Self-Sabotage in Black America, written by John McWhorter. And he talks about a lot of the ills that are plaguing the black society. Today we're going to talk about some of the writings of Booker T. Washington. In November 1905, I made a tour through the new Southwestern Territory, speaking at such cities as Little Rock and Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Oklahoma City and Guthrie, Oklahoma Territory, South McAllister and Muskogee, Indian Territory, concluding at Fort Smith, Arkansas. During this trip, I had an opportunity to observe and compare a number of promising Negro communities under new and unusual conditions. At Oklahoma City, I was informed that Albert Smith, a colored farmer who owns 3 farms of 160 acres each, was perhaps the largest raiser of cotton in the territory. He is known as the Black Cotton King. It was his cotton that took the prize in the Oklahoma exhibit at the World's Fair in Paris in 1900. Albert Smith came to the territory from Alabama in 1890, bringing a small amount of capital with him. Among the most successful and progressive businessmen I've met on my western trip was E. McDaniels, a railway contractor at South McAllister. Mr. McDaniels, I learned, is at present worth about $50,000. Now we're talking about in the early 1900s, so if money doubles every 10 years, do the math on that one. The larger part of which has been accumulated during a comparatively few years that he has been engaged in railway building. Mr. McDaniels began business with another colored man by the name of T.E. Curry, running a railway boarding house for the men engaged in the construction of the railway from Memphis to Amarillo, Texas. While I was staying at Fort Smith, which, while it is situated in Arkansas, borders directly on the territory, I learned of a freedman farmer named Zach Foreman, who, though he is wholly illiterate, has got possession of 1,200 acres of land in the rich Arkansas bottoms and is reputed to own 5,000 head of cattle. That's a lot of capital and a lot of land for a guy during that time, especially a black man. Riding on the train from South McAllister to Muskogee, my attention was repeatedly called to the rich farms in that section of the country owned by Negroes. For 40 miles along the line of this railway above and below Muskogee, I was informed nearly all of the property is owned by Negroes. In Muskogee itself, Negroes are well represented in business and in the professions.